because it moves a lot. So I need to.
Hello, everybody. All right. Alright. Y'all. Sorry. Well, they don't want to see your butt. Welcome in. We are waiting for our lovely friend to finish up. I know. So, welcome everybody to the Sweet Strawberry Social event today. Yes. And we are in the Creative Crafters Assembly. Thank you. So we are in the Creative Crafters Assemble event group. It is a free group where you get to see all of the creators. I am the last presenter for today's event. We've had some amazing presenters so far. So if you missed anybody, please go back and watch. Miss Yadi just finished up. She did a fake bake, which is super cool. It's been a long time since I've done fake bakes. I did fake bakes back when I started going live. Is actually one of the reasons why I started going live, was to show off my fake bakes. And I mean, I like it and all that, but I was having so many issues with like the clay, with my hands and manipulating the clay. So yeah, I stick to paper now. But it is still beautiful. I love doing it. I think it's amazing, and Miss Yadi, she's just gonna get better at it, because that's just how she is. She works really hard when she wants to learn something. So thank you, Miss Grace, for popping in. I loved your truck. It was so cute, and thank you for staying on a little bit extra. It really did help, and I appreciate every one of you. So we are, I am trying to get, okay, girl, y'all, look at what my current situation on my desk is. This is my current situation. She's taking up all my desk. I need to craft. Okay, I know you want the pets and the love and all the stuff, but I need to craft. Can you go do that in your seat? Come on. Come on. I know you're gonna get mad at me, but mommy needs to craft. Here, you can clean yourself over there in your seat, okay? Okay, well then you're gonna have to get off if you're not gonna go to your seat. So, I was supposed to be on earlier, but she was one of the ones that was at the vet today. You know, they're like kids. You gotta take them to the doctor. They gotta get their yearly shots. Gotta make sure everything's good. Because she's a long-haired cat, she also has to get get her hair trimmed and stuff like that. So yeah. Oh, hey there, Miss Jeannie. How are you? How are you doing, Miss Jeanette? Thank you so much for popping in. I appreciate it. And there's my sweet, sweet Carla. So, I am going to continue making things in the strawberry themed that will eventually end up in a journal. Whether it's going to be a fully straight strawberry themed journal or it'll be all of the different fruits, I don't know. We shall see. But I've been making elements. So we did some strawberry shaped ATC cards. And now I'm going to do these folio pockets so that we can put things like those ATC cards and tags and other stuff in there. Now these are printables that I have, and I just double side printed them. You know, it'll be, you know, just so that I would have something. And I just realized I did it upside down. Oh well, it'll be fine. But I'm going to show you what you can do if you do not have like an image like this, but you still want to make a folio. Okay, so I will show you guys. I have a print, which I think is super cute, and so I just printed it out, and you can see it is just a large print. And I'm going to show you guys how to do this and turn it into that, essentially. Okay, so hello, Miss Yadi. I absolutely loved your cake, your fake bake cake, and those little strawberry shortcakes were adorable. And you did amazing. I was telling everybody that when I started going live was because I was doing fake bakes. And it's been so long since I've done any, but it's really, really nice. I'm glad that you're back. So these, like I said, these are some printables that I've had. One of them I know was a free image from somewhere. And because I printed this on double-sided, I'm not throwing those strips away because they can be used. Okay. So, and my printers decided to be a little bit on the fritz. Yes, I think you did amazing, and it takes practice to get the piping right. I mean, if you pipe cakes, it helps. But if you've never done that before, it just takes practice. So I've never piped cakes before, but yeah, you'll get it. I know you will, because you are very dedicated to your craft. If you want to learn something, you will learn. I have seen it. So you will do great with your fake bakes. Like I said, fake baking took me down the path of working with polymer clay to make my own little figurines and sprinkles and things of that nature, and my hands just were not happy with me. Which is one of the reasons why I do not do that anymore. But I'm excited to hop back on the wagon, and like I said, it's been a long time. But it's you know, it's fun when you get to practice and play in different mediums. Because that way you can expand the mediums that you like to work with. So I love taking the foam clay that is used in fake baking and using it whether it's on cover journals or on bottles, because it's very easy to work with. My hands like working with it. It's soft. And again, I'm not throwing any of these away because I printed double-sided. I will be able to use those for something. What? I don't know yet, but I'll use it for something. Alright, usually has 3 parts. The back and two sides. And like I said, while these ones already have the imaging on them, you can grab a regular, plain piece of paper, and you can create whatever you wish with it. Alright, now I am going to try and score. And then that way we can have our little folded area here. And like I said, these ones are meant to hold ephemera pieces in there, so anything that you can think of, and these can be done in any theme. That's what's so cool about them. Now I'm doing it with a printed image. Like I said, you can do these with just plain old cardstock. You just need to have a rectangle, so I would highly suggest, cutting it maybe paper size, so 8.5 by 11. Just because most things are about that size, so just make sure that you have some form of a rectangle. Okay. And then these parts are going to fold up and give us some little pockets, which is one of the reasons why I made sure, ooh, I didn't cut that all the way. I made sure to print on both sides, to print an image on both sides, because this is gonna come up, and I didn't want to have white spots, because that would definitely not look good, right, if we had white spots. Okay. Alright, and so this would close, and it would close again. So I'm going to go ahead and do my scoring on this one. Again, just, try to eyeball it the best that you can. Like I said, I printed the image backwards, so the strawberries are gonna look a little bit weird, but it'll be okay. You know what? I don't have my... So what's everybody gonna have for dinner today? Or have you already had dinner? I am planning on... We are planning on having spaghetti tonight. That is what we are planning on having. So spaghetti with meatballs is what I'll be making, and obviously some garlic bread to go with it. So that's what we will be having for dinner. Okay, and then see, these will fold up like this, or if I wanted to, I could, you know, now that it's printed on both sides, you can end up picking. You're hungry? Go find you some food, my friend. I don't want you to be hungry. I saw the picture of your end of the year party with your students. They look so cute. I miss when the kids were that small, you know? Okay, so you guys get the gist of it, right? So we've trimmed this down, and now, if I can, we're going to glue our spots. Right, so we're gonna glue, and we're just gonna glue the sides. And then you can ink before, you can ink, I mean, however you wish to do it, that's completely up to you. I'm actually only going to put glue on this one side and leave it almost like a folio, like a folder, to where it just, everything slides in, because this side is going to be tight. Okay. And then this one, same thing. You can have it this way, or you could do it like this and then have this, you know, so however you wish to do that. This one I am going to go ahead, because you see how it already has like kind of looks like it's distressed, so I'm just going to go ahead and actually put some ink to actually distress it. Not just so that it looks distressed, but so that it's actually distressed. And let's round that corner a little bit. This will also help to hide the white from where we cut the paper, because you know they have these edges. And then we'll distress on this side, since this is the side that we're gonna see. And remember, the biggest reason why I'm I decided with this one I want to ink it is, well, one, it showed that it had like distressed areas, and also it's kind of muted in colors, and so I do want there to be distinction of where things start and where things end. And by inking your edges, that allows you to have those distinct edges. Now I know inking is not for everybody, and that is totally okay. You don't have to ink if you don't like to. I just think it really helps with the look. Yeah, I'm not sure who walked in earlier, Miss Yadi, when you were working on your cake, but somebody said it looked nice, somebody in your house. And they were right, it does look nice. Fake bakes are also, they're especially big for decorating your kitchen area or your dining room. I have some little like faux hot chocolates that I've made that sit on a shelf close to my coffee and hot chocolate bar. I also have some that I've made that sit that come out at Christmas time because they're gingerbread. So there's definitely, you know, where to put them. What happens when you throw out something you think you will never use? I guess you kick yourself in the butt and go buy another one. If you really want to use something like it. Or you pivot and find something else. That's all I can think of. Yeah, I was your husband. Yeah, I told you that. I was like, oh, see? Even somebody in your house says it looks pretty. That was sweet of him. My hubby sometimes will see when I leave projects out, and especially when I've left stuff to dry, and then he'll be like, oh, I saw what you were working on, it looked really nice. That was nice. Oh, thank you, I appreciate that. And I do want to ink the bottom so that it all has that cohesive, distressed look to it. And there goes my phone sliding. Okay, so I see there's that one. And I do not like how this is all frayed. I need to remind myself to get some more blades. And it's really nice when our partners validate the things that we create. I know I've created something that my daughter likes when she takes it from me and decides that it's gonna be in her room or it's gonna hang off of her door, her bedroom door. Right now she has a record, an old vinyl record that she started painting and I ended up finishing for her, that have her cats on it. Right now that's what's on her door. Yes. I will look as soon as I get off and I'll send you some messages, okay? With options. And then if you're ready to book, we can take care of that. For those who do not know, I am hosting a retreat in Oklahoma at the end of July. And we do have some spots available. We did have some cancellations. So we do have some spots available. And there is a virtual option too. So if you want to dive into the world of journaling, because that is what we will be doing. And I'm also I've also earned my travel agent license, so if anybody ever needs to book anything, you can always send me a message and I'll be glad to help y'all. Okay, so looky how cute these are, right? And like I said, they're great for putting things in, like the strawberry shaped journal cards that we made. Right, they fit perfect right there. So you can have this and then you can glue this into your journal. Okay, so but what happens if you don't have, let's say, this shape, right? But you have a piece of paper, right, that you want to use and you want to make this. I'm going to make a third one with this one right here, okay? And this is just your regular printed paper. It is a regular just 8.5 by 11 paper, okay? And what we're going to end up doing is we're going to fold it into thirds, okay? So you can do this with scrapbook paper, you can do this with a printed image, anything you want, okay? You need to make sure it's a rectangle. That's going to be the biggest thing, okay? You're also going to want to take into consideration the size of the journal that this is going to go into. So because most of my journals are the size height wise of an 8.5 by 11 paper, because I print my pages and then just fold them in half, I need to cut this down, which is kind of why there's a space up top, okay, and bottom. So we're going to take off about 1 inch on the top and the bottom, okay? So if we look at it, Yeah, it's about an inch. Well, okay, 3/4 of an inch is what I have it at. So we're gonna take off that top and bottom, and I actually want some of that there. Okay. Now, hey Miss Renee! How are you, dear? Miss Renee was in our event today too. Okay, so now that I have trimmed it down, okay, now we have to fold this into thirds, but because of how my thing printed, I have this little borders, so I'm going to trim the borders just because I really don't want that white. Okay, so I'm taking that off. Okay, which ended up leaving me with a paper that is 10 3/4 by 7. Okay, so instead of 8.5 by 11, Stormy, mommy's still trying to work here. Come on. I know, but you don't want to sleep, and I'm trying to work. Okay, so we need to take this page and we need to fold it and make sure that it will fold on to itself, right? So we can very easily she just created a craft-a-lunch. We can very easily just take our page and bring it like this and fold it, okay? And give ourselves and figure out our thirds. Now, if you're mathematically, you know, very smart, then you can figure this part out without having to do it manually and eyeballing it, as I call it. Okay. So I have, there's one of my folds, which ended up being at 3 5/8, and then my other fold ended up being at 7 1/4. Oh my gosh, Stormy, you are just being so stubborn today. Mommy needs to work. Yes. Nobody wants to see kitty butt. Okay, you can stay right there. We'll just move this up. Okay? Y'all get to see kitty butt. Sorry. She is still mad that I took her to the vet today. She does not like going to the vet. Okay, so now we have our rectangle is in thirds. Okay? Alright, so we have that. So now we know it's going to close onto itself. Other than I just realized that that is so crooked it ain't funny. See, Stormy, you're making me have a crooked project. Okay. So, alright, now to be able to create the flap coming upward, okay, we are going to bring it up about 2 inches ish, okay, and you're just going to fold it on itself. Okay, So now we have where it is folded on itself. Okay. Where we have this crease, okay, we need to create a V on it. So I'm going to, now normally I just cut this, but I want you guys to see that there is my fold, okay, and I'm going to cut a V. So I normally just fold it this way and cut, and this will give me the V that I need. What this does is it ensures that, you know, everything can fold. So now that I've cut it, you can see how there's a V there. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side and just cut a small little V, making sure that you do not go past the fold line of where we fold it up. Okay, so now when I open it, I have 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so you can decide if you want this to open up like this, or if you want it to open up like this. Okay, I want it to open up like this so that I can see where it says strawberry stand. Okay, so same idea. We're going to, right, we're going to just glue here. Now if you're doing this with cardstock or something that's double-sided, you're gonna have an image here, right? I don't have that. So for me to be able to still have something here to see, right, you have two options. You can either cover this with some stickers or other type of images, or you can cut it off and then bring it up top as your pocket. Okay, so I can cut it here and I can bring it up top as my pocket. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. So let me show you what I mean. So there's the fold, right? I am going to cut on that fold. Now, again, if this was just a, yes, the cat has to craft. So because I want to see this, I am going to glue this down, okay? So I will glue it this way, all right? And that way I can still have my visual. Or you can actually bring it on the outside, which is probably what I'm going to do, so that way I have something on the outside. And then we're going to cut this one as well. I know she wants to be right here with me and is mad because she was at the vet all day to get her vaccines and to get checked up and to get washed and shaved and all the things. Yes, I know, and oh my gosh, I am such a horrible mommy, right? I am such a horrible mommy for that. So that's my cat, y'all. She just has to be all up in mommy stuff. That's just how she is. Now remember, I'm doing this step of cutting the stuff and moving it only because I was using a print and not a piece of cardstock or paper that had print on both sides. Okay. You're fine. That was just me kicking all the stuff that you knocked down by my feet. She knows I love her. This is my, this is Stormy, by the way. She is my emotional support cat. She actually has a letter from my therapist that has her as that. Don't you, baby? And, she can pretty much tell when I'm not feeling well, because she'll come and she'll make sure that I go to bed and lay down with her. She can pretty much tell when I'm having a migraine. You know, cats are very, very smart. And they can be trained. Canada has proven they can be trained to be service animals. It's just here in the States that they don't do that. So, which does kind of suck, you know, for those of us who have kitties. Because since the US does not recognize cats as service animals, they don't have, they cannot have all those rights like a dog would. Which I don't think is fair. Because I've worked with our cats and been able to get them trained to do things. So they are very sensitive to their human. Yes, they are. They are very sensitive to their human. You know, I read something lately that was like, you know, have you ever had your cat smack you at 3 in the morning while you're sleeping? And they were explaining that the thing about it is that cats, you know, can sense changes in one's body. Like, they can tell, and I know that that's true because this one can tell whenever I'm sick, and, you know, if there's a virus or whatever, they can tell. Because they'll come and they'll smell you, they'll smell your mouth, your breath. They can tell if something's not right. So the thing that I was reading was explaining that if they're smacking you, it may be because they're trying to alert you to something. And she's only done it a few times to like try to wake me up. Okay. Now, if you remember right, which was the printable version, these pages were smaller than the top, whereas with this page everything is, you know, the same. So to do that, you can cut these at an angle so that, you know, you still have that look. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna cut these at an angle, if this cat will let me. Well, they can tell. They can tell when you're exhausted. They can tell when you're sick. You know, certain time of the night. This one's like, okay, it's bedtime. What are you still doing awake? Okay, so see, I cut just a little bit off, and now it will do a downward. Okay, so I'm going to do the same on this side. I'm going to just cut just a little bit off. Doesn't have to be anything too much. What? You checking me out, checking out to make sure I'm doing right. See? Look at how cute that looks. Does that look good? And now we have a pocket there. We have a pocket here. It opens up to our really cute image, right? And so this would, again, this would be really fun to add into a journal that is strawberry themed, which is probably what I'll end up doing. That is probably what I will end up doing. Alright, so let's thank you, thank you. Alright, again, you fold in, ink up a little bit, just so that you kind of give yourself right where those folds are. And you can use color here. I'm just using my vintage photo. One, because it's what I have out, and two, I prefer vintage photo a lot over my other ones. Not that I don't use them. I do like to add color. Don't get me wrong. Especially Christmas time, I really like using reds and greens to ink stuff up. I think it looks really fun and festive. So Stormy, you just gotta clean yourself for everybody to see, don't you? Everybody gotta see how clean of a cat you are. They did say that you did good today. Better than last time. Last time she was being very difficult. She really does not like the vet. I know very few animals like enjoy going to the vet. I mean, like we humans don't like going to the doctor, right? So you can't blame an animal for not liking to go to the vet. But you don't like it because you don't get no food for the time you're there. I know. I know you are hungry because you didn't have any breakfast before you left. Now the first thing she did when she got back was have her food. Alright, so we have accomplished making we have accomplished making 3 little pockets, right? And we can totally decorate them now. Stormy, Mommy's going to need to move this. Please. Can I move it? Thank you. Because I would like to try and get some decorating done. Can I please? Please? Okay. So, I did pull out just some stickers and things that I had in red. This lovely lady here, I think she would look absolutely gorgeous. She is a washi sticker. And I think she would be absolutely gorgeous at the front of this pocket. I was like, she's in her red dress. She's so super elegant, and I think it would look absolutely wonderful. She's in a field of strawberries. Look at that. How cute that is. I don't think anybody likes going to the doctors. I definitely don't. So, you know, our fur babies are no different. They don't like to go and be poked and prodded. Okay, so see how cute that is right there? Alright, now, okay, we can put something here as well. I did have this card here, which I thought we could try and use. I'm not sure yet. I have this little dessert, which has strawberries on it. Thank you, dear. I appreciate it. So I'm going to add that over here just to decorate. Like I said, I tried pulling out some stuff that we could use. So, you know, we all tend to like collect stickers and things of that nature. You know, pull those stickers out, pull that washi tape out, decorate your pockets, do those kinds of things. Now this I'm noticing is rubbing when I'm folding, so I'm actually going to trim this down a little bit more, because I don't know if you guys can tell how it's kind of, see how it's, that means that I need to trim some more. It is not trimmed enough, and it's hitting when it's folding, and that is not good. So, see, even with a template, sometimes you still have to make adjustments and you have to pivot. And so there's nothing wrong with that, okay? I mean, you know, as crafters, you know, we should be able to try and troubleshoot things, because that is part of our creative mind, is to be able to troubleshoot problems or things that arrive. I know that that's why some people don't like mystery box events, because it's a little bit of unknown. But I like it because it really challenges my brain. And our brain needs to be challenged, especially as a creative, because we need to keep our brain, you know, on its toes, so that we always stay creative and we don't get like stuck on stuff, right? Okay, I have this one over here, this lady, which I think I want to add her on to one of these. Now I wonder if this is with the white background. If it is, we're going to have to dirty it up. Yeah, it is. It is. It does have that white background, so we will need to dirty this up. You get anxious about it. I know. That's why I said they're not for everybody. And that's okay. I do like them though, because I like to have to challenge that brain of mine. I think I'm gonna put her in here. I feel like she got lost with the strawberries. Now, because this is a washi sticker, I'm just going to come on the edges here and just kind of, you know, take that whiteness out of it, so that it'll blend a little bit more with this distressed background. that we have going on. So see how it helped it to kind of like blend in. So see how you can use your inks to help even hide that the thing was like kind of white on the sticker. Now you can do this with washi stickers because they will absorb, okay? You really can't do it if it's this type of like glossy sticker. That won't work. This one you have to just cut. But on washi stickers you can come over with inks, okay? Alright, so I have like 5 minutes left, and we have, let's see if I can use one of these stickers here. Then we can create something. So these are clear stickers, and you see how they look like jars? And I think we could very easily make like a jar of strawberries, right? At least that was kind of my thoughts. Trying to see. Which one? I think this one's too big. Alright, so yeah, those are too big. Okay. I'm going to use some of this leftover, and we're going to cut up some of those strawberries to put them at the bottom of this, okay? You like the first one? Okay. This one. Okay. So I'm going to use this that I had cut out already, and we are going to fussy cut this out, and we're going to make it look like these strawberries are inside of this jar. And all I'm doing is I'm going to try to fussy cut and get all the background away. What? Make that without the pattern? That's not that hard. You saw what I did. You take the paper, fold it into thirds, fold it up, cut your little diamonds out, or your little folds. Okay. Alright. So here are my strawberries, right? And we said this jar, right? So okay. Then I'm just gonna mark where I need to cut. So let's mark this, and that way I know where I am cutting and then we can glue it all together. Thank you, Miss Gia from Gia's Creations for hosting this event and for having me. I really do appreciate it. Thank you to everybody who helped out while I was trying to get my kitties. And I hope that you guys have enjoyed today's little lesson here. And then I am going to put just a little dab of the glue, if it'll come out. Oh, this tip, I swear, is getting on my nerves. I want to finish it so you guys can see it all put together. Thank you, my dear. Thank you. I really, truly appreciate you and everyone in the group. Alright, so this is a sticker, right? So we need to take it off of its backing, and these ones sometimes can be a bit of a little pain in the rear end, okay? These acetate ones, if you've ever had to take them apart, you know what I mean. I like them, but oh my gosh, they can be temperamental. Okay, so now that I've taken it off, we're gonna start by gluing that there, and then I'm just going to cut along the edge so that I can trim off any of the extra image, and I'll try to take off some of the extra plastic while I'm at it. Okay, and then because I've put the paper there, I need to make sure that I have glue behind the paper, so we're going to put some glue behind the paper. Oops. Off of this onto our and there's our little card. Look at that. And now everything's it'll dry clear, so once the glue dries, it'll dry clear. That part is not an issue. That's why you make sure that whatever glue you use, you know, dries clear when you're doing paper crafts. But now we have this cute little that we made out of some extra paper that we had, right? And it'll make a cute little ATC card that can go, you know, once it's dry, we can put it into, like, right there where the other jams are. But I gotta let this dry first, and then I'll put it in there. So I hope you guys like the idea. I hope if you like it that you will give it a try. I can draw out a template that you can trace onto or print onto any design paper. If you guys would like that, I can definitely do that. I can definitely draw out a template for y'all to make these, so that way you can use it on whatever you wish. So again, thank you so very much. I hope you guys have a beautiful and wonderful weekend. I will see you guys tomorrow, so I hope to see you guys then. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your Friday, and I hope you guys are blessed. And ciao.